So last year I graduated from my college and I had all the subjects cleared, no papers left. And once I graduated, in the initial days it was fun. Like you have nothing to do, just wake up, eat, sleep and repeat. But it was only fun for a couple of days. Then this question started to disturb me a lot. The question which more than 90% of the college students and graduates ask themselves, which is what's next? What should be my next step? And a lot of people say that you have to figure out what you want to do in life. But at that time, that question was far away from where I was because I didn't even know what should I do from tomorrow. Like I said, it was fun for a couple of weeks, but then this question caught up my mind and I started to explore different options. And I kept thinking for days, for weeks, for months, and it went up to 150 days, which is 5 months. I just kept thinking for 5 months. The frustration, the anxiety, the stress that you go through is inexplicable. You don't know which course you should choose. You don't know whom should you listen to. Everything around you seems very, very vague. You wanted to do something in your life. You wanted to figure out things, but you don't know where to start. A couple of days back, I was watching a video on YouTube where the guy was saying that until graduation, it's like you are a passenger in a car. You don't have to drive. Your parents are insisting you to go to school. Your parents are taking decisions for you. You have to complete your high school. You have to complete your graduation. And once you're done with that, you have to take responsibility of your decisions. You have to take ownership of your decisions. And that's when you take the wheel. That's when you have to start driving the car. But the catch is you don't know how to drive the car. This is exactly what colleges are doing today. They are teaching you a lot of bookish knowledge, but once you graduate, they are not teaching you how to plan your career, how to select your career, how to decide a career. These things are not taught in college. And as I said before, I did nothing for 5 months, just thinking, just being stressed and just being depressed. But I figured it out after 5 months. I got the confidence to tell anyone that, hey, this is what I'm going to do next, and this is how I'm planning to do it, and this is why I'm doing it. And I'm telling you, till date, I don't regret my decision. And in this video, I'm going to give you some steps that helped me decide my career. And if you genuinely follow those steps, I'm sure that you'll be able to select a career that you like. So all I want you to do is watch this video till the end and please try to follow these steps. So let's get started. According to a report in 2022, the estimated number of graduates in India was 1.07 crore. And the fun fact is 93% of the Indian students were only aware of 7 different career options, including medical, law and engineering. So many students after their graduation enroll into medical entrance exams, UPSC, PSC and other competitive exams where the competition is extremely high. The rest of the students who have no idea what to do after their graduations seeks advice from different people, from their family, from their friends, from their cousins, different institutes and social media and whatnot. And people will give you different advices. You have to choose this course, you have to choose that course, or this is a rewarding career, that is a rewarding career. You can get a high paying job within this field. And now you have multiple career options in your mind. Digital marketing, data analytics, data science, AI, prompt engineering and whatnot. You have multiple career options in your mind. But now the problem is you're not able to decide which one to go for. And learning these courses from institutes is going to cost you somewhere around a couple of thousand rupees to lakhs. So you're scared to invest a huge amount of money into courses and you're not able to decide. And this is where something called as the paradox of choice comes into picture. I'll explain this with an example. Back in the 90s, a group of researchers did an experiment with a group of people. The task was to purchase a jam from a supermarket. And the researchers kept 2 different flavors of a jam in one supermarket and 10 different flavors of jams in another supermarket. And they sent half of the people to the first supermarket, which only had 2 different flavors, and half of the people to the second supermarket, which had 10 different options. And they purchased. And a week later, the researchers visited these people's home and asked about the flavor, were they satisfied or not. And they found out that the people who purchased it from the first store, which only had 2 different options, were much satisfied than the people who purchased it from the store which had 10 different flavors or 10 different options. So what does this mean? It means that the more options you have, the harder to decide which one to choose, and you'll be less satisfied with it once you have it. This is exactly what happens when you choose a career or a course. You enrolled into a data analytics course, and then you're like, oh, I should have chosen digital marketing or data analytics. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how can you decide that one path, and how can you avoid this paradox of choice, and how can you be confident with your choice and stick to it. And before getting into the topic, I want to tell you something that is really important. That is, whenever you are planning to enroll into a course, always associate that course with a career and not just with a job. I'll tell you what I mean. Let's say, for example, you want to get enrolled into a digital marketing course. And when you associate that course with just getting a job, you'll get frustrated in a few months because your vision is short term. You're not able to get the broader picture. But when you associate that course with a career, you'll be able to get a broader perspective. And job is only one single part of your career. Let's say, for example, if you want to make a career in digital marketing, you have multiple options. You can get a high paying job, you can get into freelancing, you can start content creation, you can even start your own business. So whenever you're planning to enroll into a course, ask yourself that, do I want to make a career in this particular field? So now let's get into the steps. When you're planning to select a course or a career path, the first step that you have to do is to take a step back from distractions. When you have no clue what are you supposed to do next after your 12th or after your graduation, chances are high that you might get slipped into the wrong path. And there are multiple reasons why you slip into the wrong path. And social media is one of them. I mean, students these days are taking advices from a 30-second reel. I mean, what kind of a detailed information are you going to get from that reel? Let's say, for example, you get enrolled into a digital marketing course and you're seeing a lot of ads and reels related to data analytics. Now you're like, oh, I should have chosen data analytics because it is better than digital marketing. Now the problem here is lack of clarity of thoughts. Because of too many options, because of too many distractions, you are not able to choose one. You are not able to stick with it. That's the reason why you should stay away from distractions and why you shouldn't take advice from social media and reels. I'm going to tell you where should you take advice from in the next few steps. And once you took a step back from distractions, you'll have multiple career options in your mind. And that is where step 2 comes in. You have to understand the why. And this is the most important step that you have to follow. First, take a pen and paper and draw a line in between. And on the first column, write process based. And in the second column, write outcome based. I'll explain this with an example on how it should be done. Now, let's say you have data analytics as a career option in your mind. Now ask yourself, why data analytics? Why do I want to do data analytics? So probably you'll have multiple answers, but all of these answers will fall under either of these categories, either on outcome based or on process based. And now you'll have some generic answers in your mind, like my friend got into data analytics, he have a good job, he's doing a good job, and he suggested me to do data analytics, or we can make a lot of money in data analytics field, or we can get a high paying job, we can get into big companies because that's what institutes claim. You can work from anywhere in the world. So these are some kind of answers that you'll have in the beginning. So all of these answers will come under outcome based. And then you might have some answers like, I'm curious about learning about business. I'm curious about playing with numbers or crunching numbers. I love breaking down problems and solving them. or I'm really curious about this particular part of data analytics. So these kind of answers will come under process based. And I'll tell you, when you do this experiment for the first time, 80% of your answers is going to come under the outcome based, and only 20% of your answers will come under the process based. Now you might ask me that, Safwan, what's wrong with that? Well, nobody is going to pay you well for nothing. Everybody is going to pay you for your skill. So what you have to do is learn to monetize your skill. You have to learn how to monetize your skill. So the first step to develop a particular skill is to become really curious about that particular skill. As I mentioned in the above example, you're really curious to learn about business. You're really curious to break down problems and solve them. You're really curious in crunching numbers. So this curiosity will help you learn more and implement new things, and this implementation will help you gain experience, and this experience will enhance your skill, and this skill will pay you better over time. On the other hand, if your focus is only on the external factors, like your friend suggested, you can make a lot of money, you can get into big companies. In the initial stages itself, if your focus is on the external factors, you don't have that hunger in yourself. You don't have that curiosity. So your objective is to build curiosity. You should have something within that particular field that makes you curious. So if you have those kind of answers, it will come under the process based. If you have some generic answers like your friend suggested, or your cousin suggested, or somebody told you about this, these kind of answers are external and it is not going to help you. What is going to help you is the curiosity, is something that makes you really interested in that particular field. As I mentioned earlier, when you do this experiment for the first time, 80% of your answers will be on the outcome based column, and 20% of your answers will be on the process based column. So your objective is to turn the table around. Your 80% of the answers should be in the process based and 20% on the outcome based, because obviously someone could have told you about a particular field and you start your own research and stuff, and then you get interested in that, and that you obviously expect to get into big companies. But that should not be your driving force. Your driving force, your answers of driving force should be in the first column, which is process based. And I'll tell you how do you increase your answers in your process based column. And that is the third step, which is read and research. The reason why 80% of your answers are on the outcome based side is because of lack of knowledge about that particular field. You have not done your own research. You only know what people have told you. You've done nothing from your end. So you should start doing your own research. You should dig deeper. You should try to understand the field holistically. You should try to know the advantages and disadvantages of that particular field. What are the different skill sets that you'll need to succeed in that particular field? What are the challenges in that particular field? You have to read blogs. You have to watch informational videos on YouTube about that field. You have to complete certifications from platforms like Google, Udemy, or Coursera. You'll get free certifications. By doing this, you'll learn a lot. By the time, you'll get to know what makes you curious about this particular field. Even after doing all of these, if you don't feel like there is nothing that is making me curious about this field, then leave it. Choose another career option that you have in mind. Follow the same process. By doing this, you'll understand what makes you curious, and that will help you keep moving. And now take back that pen and paper. Now try to write the reasons. Ask yourself why data analytics, and then start writing. And I can guarantee you that if you are curious enough, you'll have a lot of answers in the first column, which is process based. And now step number 4 is to find a mentor. Now you might be thinking like, why can't we make this as the first step? Because things would have been easier, right? Yes, it will. But when you put effort and do your own research, you'll become self-aware. You'll exactly know what you're looking for. And you tell me that you're asking an experienced person in data analytics that, hey, I don't know anything about data analytics, whether it is a booming field or not, or how much money can I make once I get into this field, once I complete a course. Do you think this guy will be interested in answering your question? No. But instead, if you ask him, hey, I have done a couple of research on data analytics and I would like to get into data analytics. This is what makes me curious about this particular field. And these are the reasons why I'm getting into data analytics. And I have some specific questions. Can you guide me? That person will be genuinely interested in guiding you. So do your own research at the first place and then find an experienced mentor. Now, the question is, who is a mentor? A mentor is an experienced person in your particular field who can guide you throughout your career, because that particular person has been through all of the things that you're going through in your career. So now the next question is, why do you need a mentor? You might be thinking that once you get a job, things are going to be sorted. No, it's not. Throughout your career, you're going to have problems, you're going to feel stuck in your career. So when you feel stuck, you're going to need a person who is experienced, who has been through all of that to guide you. So that is the importance of having a mentor. Now the next question is, how do you find a mentor? If you have an experienced person within the field that you're looking for, within your network, like your friend's friend or your cousin's friend or someone from your family, anyone, it is better. But if you don't have that, you go to LinkedIn, you search for, let's say for example, data analytics, and if you search for it, you'll find experienced people within the field of data analytics and find a profile that is, genuine, who have like a couple of years of experience in data analytics, who have done well in their career, who have worked at, some of the good companies, and filter out and pick one person and ask them for advice. Now, I just want you to think about it. Just think about the hierarchy of the steps that I mentioned. At the first place, you had no idea what you wanted to do, what should be your next step. The second thing, you stopped taking advices from social media. You took a step back from distractions, and now your mind is clear. You're taking different career options within your mind, and you're asking yourself that, why the hell do I want to get into this particular career? And once you do that, you are becoming self-aware. Your thought process is clear, you're having a clarity of thought, and the picture is getting clear. And once you get the perfect answer, you are seeking guidance from an experienced person. You are getting your specific doubts cleared, and now you exactly know what should be your next step. And now the final step is find an institute. Now you might be thinking, why did I keep this particular step as the last step? Well, I'm a digital marketer, and I know people who have enrolled into different digital marketing institutes by paying 30,000 rupees to 50, 60,000 rupees. And if you ask them about a simple basic definitions and terminologies of digital marketing, they won't be able to answer it. Now the question is, whose mistake it is? The institutes or the students? Well, to be really honest, institutes just want your money, but the money that you pay is your parents or your hard-earned money. So the mistake number one that I see here is they listen to what the institutes are saying. They're not self-aware. They don't even know whether they can pull this thing off or not. Mistake number two is lack of clarity. They saw an ad, they contacted the institute, and they enrolled into the program, and now they regret. But when you do your own research, you become self-aware and you seek guidance from a mentor, you'll get enough confidence to scrutinize that particular institutes and ask them tough questions. And picking institutes, there are different parameters that you have to follow when picking an institute, like who is the founder, what has he done in the past, does he have any relevant kind of experience, who are the mentors, how many years of experience do they have, and what is the network of that particular institutes with recruiters, what's the syllabus they follow, is it updated or is it from 3-4 years back. And the final thing is what's their placement ratio, do they have 90 plus or 90% above placement ratio. So these are multiple parameters that you should look for when you try to select an institute. So these are the steps that you should follow when you feel stuck, when you want to select a career. And in conclusion, I want to say that these steps are not easy to follow in this distracted world. It is hard, it takes effort, it takes time, and it takes patience. But the thing is that you have to focus on the process and ask yourself, what am I gonna do today? Please don't think about what's going to happen in like 2 years or 5 years, because in this phase where you have no idea what should be your next step, it doesn't make any sense to think about what is going to happen 2 years or 5 years down the line. By thinking about today and tomorrow, you'll be able to save enough time. Instead, if you're thinking about 5 years, like what's going to happen 5 years down the line, you'll just keep thinking and you'll be stressed, you'll be anxious, and you'll be depressed. So these are the steps that you have to follow, and I've put a lot of effort into making this video. This is my experience, this is how I did it when I felt stuck. So if you have any friends or anybody who is feeling stuck to select a course or career, share this video with them. And if you like this video or got some kind of value from this video, please don't forget to leave a comment and like this video and subscribe to this channel. It motivates me to keep making videos, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.